YouTubers. I hope this is working. This is our brand new mom cat. She's got an angry look on. And just behind me are the kittens, of course, that we just looked at. We'll look at them again. This is a good chance to see Rue is her name, R-U-E, Rue. This is a good chance to see Rue out here, though, away from her kittens for a minute, having some lunch. She's tiny. I haven't actually weighed her yet, but the note at the vet's office said she weighed 9.2 pounds. I don't know when that was. That seems about right, though. She feels very, very light compared to all of our cats, and obviously compared to Mural next door. So she's also a real sweetie. Obviously, took right to hanging out with me and purring. And just a few minutes ago, you can check on the regular Kitten Academy live stream. It was on there. She went nuts playing with all the toys, mostly the banana. I feel like she's been a little cooped up the last week or two since she had her babies. But let's talk about the babies. First off, let me back up. I see a lot of people that are coming in a little bit confused because this news came out of nowhere. So what happened is Mural is still right next door, and we're still waiting for Mural to have her babies. We're still waiting on that. But in the meantime, we brought in Rue and her 6 little kittens that she had about 2 weeks ago, give or take. And she was at our vet, who is Dr. Katz. And Dr. Katz was going to look after her and her babies until they were old enough to be adopted. But Dr. Katz doesn't have a lot of room for kittens to run around. So I thought we could bring her to the academy, and then they could have a little more space while they grow up. So that's what we're doing. So that's the story. So Mural's still here. Mural's still having her babies someday, soon, hopefully really soon. But Mural still hasn't had her babies. We're still waiting on that. And while we're waiting, we've gone ahead and brought in Rue here to take care of, in addition to Mural and everybody else. So, okay, that's the story. That's the story in broad strokes. But let's talk a little bit about specifics and what's going on now. First off, Rue had 6 kittens, as you can see here. There are 3 tabbies and 3 black kittens. And it's going to be a little bit tricky to tell them apart, although I'm starting to get a handle on it right off the bat. Also, I need to ask the doctor exactly which day they were born, because I don't remember and I'm not sure. But you can see their eyes are wide open today. I think they all have both their eyes open. So that puts them at about 2 weeks old. Assuming that their eyes just open, which I feel like they did, because I feel like I was at the vet yesterday and they weren't quite all the way open, but maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. So for now, I'm saying they are about 2 weeks old, and there's 6 of them, and there are 5 boys and 1 girl. And I'm still getting to know them. They just got here to Kitten Academy, so I don't know them very well. How many weeks is August? How many days is it since August 21st? Somebody help me out with that. That is just about 2 weeks, right? But we're at, I don't know. I can't math. Now, while I'm doing all this other stuff, that's my excuse. Hi. Okay. So what can I tell you? First off, the story that I know is very briefly that Rue was found by some kids, maybe not kids, maybe young adults. Anyway, some folks who found her and brought her to a cat lady that they knew, or a lady that they, I guess, trusted and thought could take care of her. And that lady, in turn, said, well, I don't know if I'm ready for a pregnant cat, so she brought her to Dr. Katz. And from what we know, that same lady is already planning on adopting Rue. So that is the plan, and maybe one of her kittens as well, but the rest of them are all going to go through the regular adoption process here at Kitten Academy, which involves, applying on our website, kitten.academy, and going through DAWS, the Danbury Animal Welfare Society, to both get that application approved and the adoption fees and all that stuff. So all the rest of them will be regular adoptions through DAWs, just the way we always do. But Rue and probably one of her kittens are going to the same person that rescued them, I guess, sort of helped in their rescue anyway. At least that's the story today, the way that we know it. Then let's see if I can introduce you to the kittens successfully, considering that I don't know them very well myself. Now, first off, there's 3 tabbies. There's one tabby that stands out, which is this one that happens to be right here, because these two have very thin mackerel tabby stripes. You can see that these two have you see these stripes are very thin and lined up like little lines there. I'm trying not to move them around too much. Maybe it's easier to see over here. You see these little tabby lines? All those little tiny tabby lines. It looks like somebody, I don't know, put paint on a comb and then just combed it through there with all those little fine stripes. Whereas this tabby has big, bold stripes that go kind of all over. They're not all perfectly lined up. I think he's trying to be a classic tabby with the big swirl on the side, but he's sort of ended up somewhere in between with the big, bold stripes. So this is the one. This is a boy. He is a tabby, and he has big, bold stripes, so right now I've just got him on the weight sheet as Bold Tabby. Not because his personality is bold, but because his stripes are bold. So that's what that's for, and that's what that means. So this is our little Bold Tabby, or I think he's on the weight sheet as number 1 right now. Yeah, okay, number 1. So that's our boy number 1. The bold stripy tabby. Now for the other 2, I have already discovered some way to tell them apart, but it's very subtle. We've got another Chevy versus Harry situation here right now. Speaking of which, Chevy versus Harry have become very easy to tell apart because Harry is brown and Chevy has turned almost entirely gray compared to Harry anyway. So it's turned out to be very easy to tell the 2 of them apart. Anyway, for the other tabbies, we have one that I put on the weight chart as Shouty Tabby, which I believe is this one, because he was an early front runner to be the loudest, most complainy kitten in this group. And it looks like he's sticking to that. He's already started meowing about being picked up and handled and not getting everything that he wants. So I think this is Shouty Tabby. And I'll tell you the other way that I'm telling them apart right now is they've got these markings on their cheeks. Come here, buddy. Have a look at me. They've got this white spot, there it is, right in the middle of the camera, right under the stripe that comes from the corner of his eye. So there's the corner of his eye, there's the stripe that comes out the corner of his eye, and just below that there's this little white spot. I'm pointing at it now with my thumb, trying to anyway, right there, that little sort of triangle shape. So it's very subtle, but the way that I'm looking at them right now, the other guy's is much whiter, and I think you're going to see that at least. So we'll come to him in just a second, but that's so far number 2, aka Shouty Tabby. Then over here we will have number 3, who you can see has a lot whiter whites on his face, right? His face just comes across as being overall a little lighter in color. He's also on the weight chart as Fat Tabby because he is the heaviest of the group, and I think you can sort of tell as soon as you pick him up that he's the heaviest. But aside from being subtly lighter and subtly heavier, neither of which are things we can count on to remain true, basically a twin of the last guy that we looked at, who now is up there by his mom's head. So let's put them next to each other. You can see how difficult it would be if you didn't know who was who to just pick one out. Although I do think the fat guy is going to turn out to be a little bit lighter all around in the end. So we'll keep an eye on that for the meantime. She's so sweet on them, and she trusts everybody already. She's just so trusting. She let me pick up her kids, and even when they start yelling, she doesn't try to grab them back. You remember that Loom would, every time that her kids would start yelling, she'd get really anxious, right? And start sort of trying to paw at them or see what I was doing or come over and look up real close. I don't know if this Rue is just so tired out or if she just completely trusts me, but I think it's trust. She's had plenty of time to rest, so she should have lots of energy. Of course, she is going through nursing 6 kittens, so that's something. All right, let's go on now. We've got 3 black kittens, but they are easier, believe it or not, to tell apart. I did not expect that the black kittens would be easier to tell apart than the tabbies, but they are if you know what to look for, which so far I don't necessarily know what to look for. Okay, so let's go in order though. So not you and not you. We want the other black one who's got to be buried right there. You are. No? Did I get the right one? Now I am confused. I just finished saying how easy they are to tell apart. Now I'm like, I can't tell them apart. Can I? I can't. Okay. All right. So this is I think this is on the chart as number 4, the first of the black tabbies. And he does look like he's all black. He's a little boy. But what you will notice is he's got a bright white spot on his neck. So we can always look for that. See that white spot right there on his neck? It's a little hidden, though. It's going to be hard to see, but once you go looking for it, you can easily tell which one he is because he's got that big, bright white spot right there. I think he's also got a white spot on his belly there at the bottom. Do you see that? So those should turn up pretty well. I know, buddy. So that's number 4, who's on is the black with the white spot. There we go, buddy. Okay. Then number 5 should be the one that's all pure black with no real distinguishing feature. That's this one. I know it's shiny in the sun, so it's hard to tell, but this should be our one little girl. So that's her distinguishing feature, which is quite a distinguishing feature, really. This is the one girl in the group, and she's all black. She doesn't have that white spot on her neck. It's black, 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 as you can see. I know it looks like she's got some little white hairs, and she does. Let's be fair. There are some little gray hairs, but the camera picks them up a lot more than you see them in real life. In person, she's quite dark. So that's our little all black girl. And then the third black kitten is this one. I think that's right. Are you even black, bro? I'm seeing a lot of tabby stripes in this light. But, most black cats have tabby stripes that you only see in certain light. But what I'm really seeing, and you'll see this too if I put him down, is that he's all black on this end, and he gets gray right about here at the halfway mark. He starts getting a lot of gray hair. Do you see all that? That's not just the light. You can see that in person too, although the light, the camera does show it better than you see it in person. His head is all black, but his body starts to get a lot of gray in it. People are saying he might have been a fever coat, just like Pebble was a fever coat, maybe. I don't know that he was, but, I think the vet would have noticed that and said something about it, maybe. More gray in previous pictures. Okay, maybe you guys did check it out then. Good. Maybe he was sort of a fever coat or sort of a semi-fever coat. I'm sure there's a range of those things. And so that gray may disappear as he gets a little bit older. I would expect it to, in fact. But for now, it help us tell him apart. His tabby stripes are a little more clear, but that gray is there you go. Look at that from this distance. Look how black this hood is, like a hooded rat almost. He's got this big black hood, and then everything else has this just real gray to it. Not gray like Ari, more like gray like, like Pebble was, with the sort of black and the sort of gray on top. Or like brain work. Anyway, whatever. So that's our cast. You guys have got it. That's all of them. So that's Rue. We got 3 tabbies. We got the bold tabby and the 2 twins. And then we've got 3 black kittens, 2 of which are boys and 1 of which is a girl. And there's only the 1 black girl. The rest are all boys, except Mom, of course. Mom's a girl. You know that. So that's the whole thing. For those of you coming in late, short story is Mural. We're still waiting for her babies. And Rue here is coming in to the academy with 6 kittens already born, about 2 weeks old. And we'll stay here until she graduates at about 3 months. Her kittens will be 3 months old. And right now the plan is to have them all up for adoption and everything managed just the same as ever, except Rue, and possibly one of her kittens that are going to the person that brought her in to start with. So there we go. It is Rue, R-U-E. Some of you will remember we had a cat named Rue already, R-O-U-X, Rue. This one is Rue, R-U-E, and normally we wouldn't probably even repeat a name that closely, but considering that she's already got a name, everybody knew the name because it's on the doctor's website, and the adopter, I think, is planning on that name. We figured it made sense to just keep it, and DJ's going to have to come up with a theme around it. Funny enough, that's the exact same thing that happened with Angel, which is one of my favorite examples of DJ's naming craziness, because Angel already had a family that she was going to go, back to after she had her kittens, and Angel already had a name, Angel, that we didn't change, and so DJ had to come up with a theme to go with it, and that's the group of kittens that got named after fish. It was Angel as in angel fish to DJ. We had halibut and all the others, so I expect something similarly clever with Rue when DJ decides to name them. It'll be something that nobody expected. And hopefully DJ will get to naming them right away. That's my guess anyway. She'll be here tonight to give them the sort of test lick. Kitten Academy legend is that she gives the kittens a lick, and that's how she knows what their name should be. Look at these little tiny beans and things. So cute. This is our one with the hood, I think. Our last little boy. Look at all those little toesies. So as long as I got you here, let's take just a minute to remind you that tomorrow is adoption for Argyle and Chevron. Should be tomorrow evening, early evening. So that'll give us plenty of time to do their goodbyes on tomorrow's close-up. We'll see Argyle and Chevron and do their goodbye waves. Real excited for them to be able to get to their forever home. Forever home always sounds wrong to me. Anyway, to finally go home with their adopter. I'm very excited about that. And Mural, we're still waiting on her. Oh, here, let me show you guys a couple things real quick. Let's wrap this up this way, all right? So these kids are super cute, but there is a camera right there, right up close, and it's a camera with a zoom too. So if you want to watch these kittens, tune into the Kitten Academy live stream, and we'll have them on there pretty much all the time, even though I know they're going to be a little bit boring. So if there's something exciting that we really need to watch on the other cameras, I might have them off for a little bit. So they should be on the regular Kitten Academy live stream pretty much all the time. Now, here we are in the second annex. That's what we call this room. That's the room where Millet had his sort of initial recovery. I've set it up with a litter box and that cat bed that nobody liked that I think was sent for Princess Paisley, but they just never touched it. And their box here. And then she's got her food and water. We got a marshmallow bed out already. I put a cat tree in. We got to bring in our trash cans because it's trash day. And the beanbag chair already, everything ready to go, right? It's great. And we got a couple of the kitten toys ready for them, even though it's probably going to be at least another week before they're ready for this kind of toy. And then finally, we have this brand new cat door that I installed between the first annex and the second annex, which you may have already noticed on the regular live stream. So it's locked right now. It's got controls here so I can lock it, and it is locked, but we should still be able to see Mural. Well, Mural's actually back in her corner. I know she's right back there, or was. But Mural and Rue will be able to look at each other to start with through the door. And if it seems like they're going to get along, we're going to slowly introduce them. And if we're really lucky, they'll even be able to spend some time co-parenting or at least hanging out together. Now, if that doesn't work out, that's fine too. I was planning on putting this door in anyway, so that under normal circumstances, when we have a cat like Mural, who's living in the annex, and they get to that age where they're ready to have a little more space, but they're not quite ready to go to the main room, either because they're too young or because somebody's still occupying the main room. then we can just unlock that door and they can have both rooms for one family and run back and forth and have a little more space to play up here. So that's the plan, whether the co-parenting stuff works out or not. So I'm going to put down this flap to give her just a little more privacy for her kittens for now. Let's just hop over real quick and say hello to Mural, who we're still waiting for her kittens. So we're just going to go right out here. I'm going to do some hand sanitizer because I don't know anything about these other kittens yet. Hang on. Hand sanitizer, getting that put in. There we go. And then right on to the regular first annex with Mural. And as you can see, here we are on the other side of our little cat door. And we can just look right across to what we were just looking at. Again, it's locked. Now I know this is funny. I don't want to get too much into the construction of this, but I know it looks a little dirty and sloppy, and that's because I cut all this stuff and I primed it and I made it look real nice, and I had one side of all the wood that was dirty and one side that was clean. And when I put it all together, I just wasn't thinking, and I put mostly the dirty side out, so I got to clean that up and repaint it, and that's all for another time. Also, you might have noticed on the other side that there's some plaster work to be done on the wall, which I ran out of time before our mom came in, so I'm going to have to do the plaster fix-up later on. But that's neither here nor there. We're here for Mural, and Mural's very excited. By the way, Mural has spent a lot of time. She went through the door and explored that whole room yesterday, and then I had to lock it to get it ready, and since it's been locked, you will see her once in a while really wanting to go through that door, and she'll just sit there and sort of paw at it and meow. But she's not allowed right now, and that's okay too. Gives her something to worry about. So Mural, we're still waiting for her kittens. She's, I think it's 4 days away from being the longest that any cat has ever been pregnant at Kitten Academy. So every other mom cat has come in, closer to delivery, with the exception of just a couple. She's tied for second place today. I think as of tomorrow, she'll have second place all to herself, and then 2 more days after that before she has tied for first place, if I'm right about that. So if she holds out 4 days, then she will match the longest mom at Kitten Academy, who was not Pumice. Pumice is way down the list, actually, believe it or not. I know Pumice seemed like she took forever. I already forget who number 1 is. I think it's Tempest, though, wasn't it? From Tempest and Teacup is in the first place. So there we go. And I know I said this in the last close-up. Yeah, she is still in the normal range for pregnancy as well as for time at Kitten Academy, even if she's starting to get close to the real upper part of that range. So we're not too worried about it yet. But next week we'll start talking about with the vet and see what's up. But this week we're not worried. So I do think that she's super healthy. She's taking good care of herself. She's taking good care of her kitten. She's still getting along with everybody. She's getting bigger and lumpier every day. I can tell her kittens are all doing well because they are often in there playing and kicking and punching. They are real kick punchers. Yeah, meow. And as of yesterday, I think I may have mentioned that she's not really producing much, but she has started to produce a little bit of milk. So I do know that tends to be another sign, too, that things are getting close. That's as of yesterday. So doesn't necessarily mean anything one way or the other, but usually kind of an indicator. All right. Hey, that's it. I'm going to plan on doing another close-up with everybody tomorrow, especially because we've got to say goodbye tomorrow to Argyle and Chevron, so we'll make sure that happens. But until then, if you want to keep watching either Mural and sort of trying to keep an eye out for when her kittens might be delivered, or our new mom, Rue, next door, and her 6 kittens that already were delivered, can't really see her from here, but that's okay. If you want to keep watching those, tune into the regular Kitten Academy live stream right here on YouTube. You can search for it, you can find it, you can watch it. It will be all Mural and all Rue and a little bit of the Catterns before they start going, I guess I should say. So there you have it. You said it, Muriel. Mural. Mural. Such a sweetheart. I just love this girl. We've had a lot of time to get to be good friends, too, haven't we? Yes, we have. So pretty. You said it. Okay. Boop. Oh, there's a kitten right there. I can feel his head.